I was live streaming a candle making tutorial when the FBI showed up and said I was funding a terrorist organization. The evidence was my shipping labels. I had 890 viewers on my Sunday afternoon stream. I make hand-poured candles on YouTube Live twice a week under the name Wick Mother because my mom used to make candles in our garage when I was little, and it's the only thing that makes me feel close to her since she passed. I was midstream pouring a batch of sandalwood soy wax into tins when 3 men in windbreakers with FBI stitched across the front knocked so hard my dog started barking through the wall. 2 agents and a woman with a badge on a lanyard. Are you Zephyrin Kadam? Yes. We need to speak with you regarding financial transactions linked to a designated foreign entity. I was standing in my apron holding a metal pouring pitcher with wax dripping onto my shoe, looking like I'd just been caught mid-crime by a network drama. She held up a printout of my Etsy shipping manifest. Someone had highlighted 7 orders in yellow, all of them shipped to addresses in 3 countries on a watch list. We have reason to believe you are transferring funds to a sanctioned organization through commercial shipments. Those are candles. Ma'am, we need you to explain the recipients. My stream was still running. Chat was moving so fast it was just a wall of what is happening and free Wick Mother. I said, my stream is live. She said, we're aware. I said, then you know I have witnesses. The agent started opening my supply cabinet. One held up a block of beeswax and asked what it was. Beeswax. He wrote it down like it was a code word. Another opened a jar of my scent oils and sniffed it and immediately started coughing. That's cinnamon leaf, sir. It's concentrated. The lead agent pulled out my customer list and started reading recipient names out loud like she was expecting me to flinch. I didn't flinch. I explained every single one. The order in Lebanon was a woman named Noor, who found me on TikTok after her sister died and wanted a candle that smelled like the jasmine tree in their childhood yard. The order in Pakistan was a college student named Roshan, who saved for 3 months to buy his mother a birthday gift because she'd been homesick since immigrating. The order in Turkey was an elderly man named Emre, whose wife had dementia and could only recognize him when she smelled Rose Absolute, which was her wedding perfume. I told them every story. I had every message saved. I pulled them up on my phone one by one, translated by Google, tear-streaked essays from strangers who trusted me with the smell of their grief. A regular viewer who worked at the ACLU typed in all caps, "You are not required to unlock your phone. Do not consent to a device search." The agent looked at my monitor. My chat had crossed 4,000 people. The clip of the agent coughing on cinnamon leaf oil was already on Twitter with 60,000 likes. She closed her notebook. She said they'd be in touch. They took nothing, but they took my customer list. 2 weeks later, I got a letter. No charges, no apology. Just a line saying the inquiry had been closed and my information would remain on file. But by then, the damage was already done. Etsy had frozen my shop pending review. 3 of my international customers had been questioned by their own local authorities because I had shipped to them. Noor in Lebanon messaged me and said she was sorry for the trouble and asked me not to send the candle anymore. I sat on my studio floor and cried for a long time. I found out later where the tip came from. A candle-making competitor in my own niche had reported me anonymously after I called her out publicly for stealing my scent recipes and photographing my labels. She wasn't investigated for anything. I went back on stream a month later. I poured a single candle, sandalwood, jasmine, a drop of Rose Absolute. I lit it on camera. I said, this one is for Noor and Roshan and Emre, and everyone who wrote to me, and everyone who was too scared to write back. I said my mom taught me that a candle is just grief you can hold in your hand, and nobody in a windbreaker gets to take that away from us. I mailed it to Noor the next morning. She lit it on the anniversary of her sister's death and sent me a photo of the flame. I keep it as my phone background. If my mother were watching, she'd say, that's the one, Zeffy. That's the one that smells like home. It smelled like home.